What is up, my dudes? I'm just chilling on my Dokomoto Saki here and going to be talking about the 2017 Monster Energy Cup predictions. So I honestly can't believe that am I going backwards here? I can't remember how this track actually went. Okay. So there we go. Never actually went on that side of this track before. But one thing that I just cannot believe is the fact that they have somehow managed to keep the Monster Energy Cup and the Red Bull Straight Rhythm going all of these years. They've been able to continue to innovate it and make it something a little bit different every single year, and I think that's amazing, man. Like, finally we have something in that complete dead period of motocross in the United States, you know, like after the outdoors is over with, like there was nothing going on whatsoever. So I think it's really good for the fans of motocross that just like to watch it and stuff like that. It just kind of keeps them something to look forward to throughout the entire year. So I think it's amazing how they managed to change up these things, because it's basically the same exact race every single year, whether it be the Red Bull Straight Rhythm or the Monster Energy Cup. So it's like, how do you really change that, you know? With the Monster Cup, they've managed to do some weird things with the Joker lane and the start straights and stuff like that. So they managed to kind of keep it fresh, and I wish they would do that with the normal AMA Supercross series. I wish they would go in there and make elevated starts on some of those and have like an all sand Supercross track in Hawaii or something like that, and just cool stuff like that. I think they actually did put a triple finish line jump on one of the tracks this past year, if I'm not mistaken, so that was kind of cool, something different, just kind of getting away from that cookie cutter Supercross track design where it's like basically the same exact track on every single track. It's nice to see when they really go in there and try to change it up a little bit, and that would just be amazing to see if they would do that more on the normal AMA Supercross series. So as far as who is going to win the 2017 Monster Cup, honestly, I don't think anyone's going to win the million. I think there's just not really anyone that looks that dominant. Like, you got to think, back in the day when Poto won that shit, like, dude was on it. I mean, on it. Very similar to, I guess you could say, Tomac in Supercross this past year, but Tomac's kind of had a weird thing going on with him, man. I don't know what he's been doing. Like, in outdoors, he just didn't have that same sort of zing to him, you know? He didn't have that same mojo to him. I don't know if it was like losing the Supercross championship in the way that he did and like winning 9 races or whatever and then still not winning the championship. I think that put a real hurt on his mental state of mind, and it just kind of screwed him up a little bit, you know? It kind of like took him off of that wicked flow that he had going. Even though he still won the motocross championship, I mean, you can't take that away from him, but I guess it's just, like, I don't know, the motocross championship to him probably didn't mean nowhere near as much as what that Supercross championship was going to mean to him. So, yeah, he's just in a little bit of a weird state. I think it's just going to take him a little bit of time. Like, I think he'll be a lot better when the actual Supercross championship comes back around and he gets back in the flow of that and he gets back into possibly leading the points in that, and, you know, and then we'll be able to say, okay, he's the dominant man again. But as of right now, I mean, it's really anyone's game. So it's hard for me to say that, like, someone's going to actually win the million in that sense. You've obviously got Muscan that's always there. Definitely got a lot of potential coming up in his 450 career. And then you got Bam Bam Barsha Boy on his new Privateer Vibe Honda. So there's really no telling where that's going to go. Just some of those riders and some of the decisions they've made and stuff as far as like when they change teams and like somebody will be winning Supercross races or win a championship and then they'll change teams. It's like, what are you doing, man? And I'm not like calling Barsha out on doing that or anything like that. I mean, there's so many of them that do it. Roxon kind of did it. Couple other them dudes do that, and it's like, I just don't understand how you could do that. Like, why would you change teams if you're winning? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there is something called green. I forgot. But, you know, like, look at Villapoto, man. I mean, all those years he was on Kawasaki, and they just kept making that bike better, kept making it better, kept improving on it. He didn't have to, like, go to some different bike, and I don't care what they say. There's a learning curve and a learning period of time that you have to go through when you change teams or change manufacturers, and a lot of them, they're never the same rider after they do that. I'm telling you, man, like when these people get super used to one bike and then they try to change teams, all of a sudden they're not the same rider. Now, in certain occasions, they're not even on the right bike to begin with, and then they find their right bike. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know. When you look in the past of the dudes that have changed teams, like, I don't know if I've ever seen one change teams and then just start smoking them right after they did that. Like, it always takes them some time. I mean, Tomac, you know, he was smoking them on a Kawasaki, but it took him a little bit of time to learn the bike, you know. Took Dungey a lot of time to learn that KTM when he first got on it. I feel like it's funny because, like, all of them do it, but I feel like if Dungey would have just stayed on Suzuki or not tried to go through that process of learning the KTM, he would have been a lot more competitive in those early years when he was on that KTM, you know, against Villapoto. But he was trying to, you know, make his mark and and he did. He made a big impact for KTM. You know, he made a manufacturer something, like basically put him on the map, which is an amazing feat in its own right. But so I mean, that's amazing what he did. I'm just saying, as far as his results in those first two years, I would say would have been way better if he would have you know, went with a different sort of bike. But that's what makes it so amazing. It's like he took that challenge and he took that risk of no one's won that on a KTM. So it's cool that he did that. But all of them kind of go through bike switch stages and periods of time and stuff. But I don't know. I have that feeling that, like, Tomac's not going to win, not even the overall. I almost feel like someone else is going to get it. I don't know. I may be eating my words and then he'll be a millionaire, even though he's already a millionaire. I don't know. You know, Tomac may go out there and smoke him by 30 seconds. He just has that kind of way about him sometimes. But I don't know. You got Webb, which is I think he just broke his wrist, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't even know if he's going to be there. But I think there's a couple other, like, kind of mid-tier dudes going to be there. I think Anderson might be there, so if he's there, that'll definitely be some cool competition. And it's just always a fun race, man. Track map looks pretty cool. Got a crazy start on this new 2017 one. Split lane start. They go down two completely different rhythm sections, which is crazy to me because it's like, you know, you'd almost have to build those jumps absolutely identical to make your starts identical, but at the same time, it's like there's always a advantage or disadvantage to a starting gate position, no matter what kind of starting gate there is. So at the same time, I guess it's not that big of a deal if it's not like a super, like, let's just say one side of the start is a whoop section and one side of it is like flat. You know, it's not going to be like that, but they're going to try to get it as similar as they can from what I'm seeing anyways. So that elevated start definitely throws them off. Let me just do that every single lap right there. It'd be cool to see somebody else win the million, no doubt. I mean, I know Kennard was really close that one year. Oh, dude, like, I thought he had it. That pressure, like when they win 2 races and then they get on that 3rd race, woo! That's a whole nother level of pressure, man. Like, that ain't even like winning just an average Supercross race. That's like wow, dude, that's some money, you know? I mean, that is putting some money in your pocket, man. So, we'll just have to wait to see. I mean, it's always a fun race to watch. I really do hope that they continue to do it for as long as they possibly can, and I think it's just it's kind of become like a thing now. The Red Bull Straight Rhythm and the Monster Cup. I mean, it's become they got the Amateur All Stars which is like their only big Supercross race all year. You know, the Red Bull Straight Rhythm's kind of venturing out into all these other little things, like they went to the nighttime racing. They've got where you can ride 500s in there. It's like a full-blown open class. They've got you know, Ronnie Max up in there doing his thing. So it's just cool what they're doing, man. Like, we're finally getting a year-round motocross fan thing now. So I definitely enjoy it, man. It's cool. It'll be cool to see who's going to win. You know, somebody's got to win the overall. So I don't know. There's been a lot of them, just kind of random riders. I don't think any of them's actually won it twice. No one's actually won the overall twice. I know it's been Villapoto has won, the only one that's won the million. He almost won the million again that next year, and then had that weird crash, which I think that was just that different error forks that he was going to, which I guess everyone kind of says that, but Villapoto did not look the same at all whenever they went to that. That's all I'm saying. Then he came back and whooped him. But so you had Stewart, you had Barsha, you had Millsaps. I think I'm forgetting somebody. Who won it? Who won it last year? I can't even remember. Was it Tomac? Maybe it was. Yeah, Tomac may have won the overall last year. I don't know. Dude, I get so confused because the races are so, like, similar in the kind of the format of it. It's hard to differentiate year from year when you talk about the Monster Cup. I mean, I can't believe it's been going for nearly, what, 7 years now? 6 years now? That's crazy, man. I mean, it just felt like yesterday they started doing the Monster Cup. So, but it's a really cool thing in Vegas. You got the million on the line. It's a cool, like, it just fits Supercross in a way, if you know what I mean. So, but my predictions, I mean, I think it's Webb's time. I think he's getting, you know, next Supercross season, he'll be somebody to watch out for. Obviously, you got all the top hitters. I don't know who all's actually going to be there. I don't know if Reed's going to be there. I don't know. I don't really know if... and this is a cool time in Supercross where it's like, okay, the Ryans are gone. Stewart's, I don't know where the hell he is. You know, some of the dudes like Reed are kind of a little bit on their way out. You've got that kind of going on, so it's time for someone new. I mean, ever since I've been into motocross and Supercross, it's always had the Ryans in there, and they've always kind of been dominant, and this is the first time that they're really, like, not here. It's kind of sad saying that, man, like, not having either one of the Ryans. Like, ever since I've started doing motocross and gotten into it back in, like, 2010 is when I kind of started it. That they've always been there. It's just always been a normal thing to see Villapoto, see Dungey, you know, and then now it's like all those dudes are basically gone. It's just weird. It's weird to have that on the track. Like, you don't see Dungey anywhere, don't see Villapoto anywhere, don't see Stewart anywhere. Now you're not going to see Kennard anywhere. All of those dudes are just basically gone. So it's like, man, I mean, this is like crunch time. If there was ever a crunch time for, you know, Tomac or Muscan or Anderson or any of those guys, it's now, dude. Like, now is the time. That door is swung wide open for you dudes to go out there and make yourself the next guy, you know? Because, like, when Villapoto was there and when Dungey was there, them dudes were top-notch competitors. Like top-notch. Like, in every kind of way. You know, I mean, you got to think, Ryans have won the Supercross championships since 2009, 10? I mean, God, they've been dominating, but that's just how good they were. Like, they were just so good at, like, the full championship series and the competitive nature of it, and then we'll be able to see possibly Roxon come back. I don't know if he's coming back for Supercross. I don't know. I don't even know when he's coming back, so we'll just have to wait and see, but it'll be a lot of fun to watch. So either way, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.